Nintopic Podcast, all things Nintendo. Yeah!
Welcome. What is this? What kind of shot is this? What is this going on here? Why am I
What's happening?
Why am I so small here? Wait, let me just. Wait.
There we go.
A lot better, right? And hold on. What's with this background? What is this? Hold up. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, so welcome to the Nintopics Podcast. We are here. We are live. You have made it through one more week to get all the way to this finish line, and here is your reward. That's four. Hopefully you guys like us enough to consider us a reward at the end of the weekend, like a cherry on top of the sundae or the ice cream on your soda float, or whatever you like on your dessert. Because that's what we're here for. Give you nothing but sweet stuff because we have a lot to talk about. And before we get into this jam-packed episode news, I want to go ahead and introduce the All-Star cast. We have left -1, which is Zach is coming out later on today. Once I hear the little boop behind the scenes here, I'll go ahead and add him. But so far, I want to go ahead and introduce the All-Star cast here at the Nintopics Podcast, starting and welcoming back the Zelda's mama, the Queen of Hyrule, Joycon. How you doing,
Hey,
Joyce? Welcome back.
So glad to be back.
So, Joycon, how have you been? Tell us what's going on. You look so younger. Did you get into like one of those machines or something? You want a spa, like getting massages and those little.
Ooh, invite me, please. Come in.
I'm gonna tell you, I wish I had been at this spot. I kind of low key still feel like I was hit by a freight train.
Oh man.
But I'm healing. All the levels are looking good. Had a lot of my post-op stuff. I have one more procedure next week, and then I'm good. I'm a little slower. If you want to know the true age of your body, get surgery, a serious one, and then you'll find out like, oh, so I'm not Superwoman. Okay, I found that out. But I am on the mend. I haven't been doing much gaming, believe it or not. I had planned to, but outside of Splatfest, which we lost, I still don't know how that happened, but whatever. I've actually been on a big reading kick. I have the best team in the world at work, and they've been sending me things. My mom's taking care of me. My boyfriend's taking care of me. All my close friends are taking care of me. So everybody's kind of taking care of me. So it's actually kind of nice to be here, just talking about games. But I've been reading like a crazy woman. I went to Barnes and Noble I think it was yesterday, and I just went nuts. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But I'll be back on my gaming grind and everything soon. Just trying to relax,
Yeah, of course. And it's glad to have you back. We missed you. And we're so glad we're back. And of course, you're back in an episode where we're talking about Zelda.
It was meant to be.
Right?
It was so meant to be.
Yeah, I mean.
This is the Lilly and Joycon podcast. No, I'm kidding.
That's going to be our second topic for today because we want to end with a bang. That's going to be a beautiful big topic. Yeah, so with that, let's introduce you to Lilly Hyrule, all the way from Hyrule as well. I think she's like Zelda's mama's kind of neighbor right there. They think they share a yard.
She lives like.
We're gonna be best friends forever and ever. Yeah.
Always.
By the way, it's a pleasure to finally be with you today because
Not
a first?
No, because
Or second.
you weren't with us the last couple of weeks, and I joined, and you were with us in the chat, of course, but not. This is officially our first podcast together, so I'm very excited for that. Yay!
I am too.
But thank you, Mike. We're gonna be talking Zelda today. Last week, unfortunately, I couldn't be with you guys, but I sure hope you had a wonderful podcast. I wasn't. I had a couple of things, important things to take care of, but I'm very excited to talk about Zelda. But of course, that's gonna be for the last topic of the day. Yeah. We have a couple of juicy news about a console that starts with N.
Yeah.
as a Nintendo. But yeah, I think that's what I've been playing. I actually bought. I'm sorry, I feel bad about saying this on a Nintendo podcast, but I bought a bunch of PlayStation games like 2 days
Leave.
ago.
No, I'm kidding.
Don't feel bad. Hey, listen.
I don't mean that.
I don't feel bad. I logged into my PS5 and when I saw that like 75% off and whatever, I
Yes.
just clicked on it.
Yes. And so I bought a bunch of games, and I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise. That I did not finish. I haven't really beaten the game yet, so I've been playing that. And I started Fallout 4 because I just finished watching Fallout, the series, and I got a little bit hyped about it, and I want to go back and play Fallout. And about the upcoming games that I'm expecting, of course, is Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door. I am super excited for that one. I can't wait to play it. They just released a new trailer. It looks amazing. They are doing it with such love for that title, and I'm very excited to play that one.
That is fantastic. Yeah, I don't feel bad because I was there too. I saw that sale going on the PS5, and I just couldn't leave. They had me like, so don't feel bad. I did not buy any Switch games this week. I played PS5 games this week. I haven't played them yet, but they're there. I increased my library.
Off with all of your heads. I don't mean that.
And we're taking. Well, actually, you know what? I think that Miyamoto is here in the States, and he's taking care of some business. And so I think along with him is this other guy. What's his name? Onuma is there with him, and
this other guy.
Other guy.
That guy.
Yeah, and then some guy named Yamauchi, whatever. It's some guy over there. So with them, I think that this other person is just serving as their bodyguard because he's wearing his gi and his black belt and his like a Chuck Norris like bandana, but it's not Chuck Norris. It's actually Ryu from Street Fighter, and his name is Paul Gale. Yeah, I saw him karate chopping somebody who tried to get an autograph from Miyamoto.
Don't let the sweet smile fool you. Now he's dangerous, y'all.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. How are you doing, Paul?
Good. Thank you. That introduction, it's not too far from reality. One of these days, I'll be like, and with me actually is Mr. Miyamoto and Mr. Aonuma.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should invite him to a podcast. Like, totally. I think we can squeeze him in, right, Mike?
Yeah, of course we can.
Sure.
I think we can have up to 12 people on the podcast.
It's been a good week. What I've been playing actually kind of surprised me. Last week we talked about if we played or downloaded any of the games, the demos, I should say, or full games from the Nintendo Indie World presentation. And one of them that I downloaded then, but I didn't play till after our podcast, if I'm not mistaken, was that demo for Cat Quest 3.
Yeah.
And the demo was actually so good.
Yeah.
It's like if you like 2D Zelda games, I think Cat Quest 3 could be right up your alley.
Okay.
It's a little cute cat, and you've got a sword, and you've got magic, and you level up. So there are RPG-like elements, and there are different cosmetics like headbands and stuff like that add different elements. You've got magic powers and gun powers, and you could go on a little sailboat, kind of Wind Waker-esque, and fire at enemies. It has a little 2-player co-op mode for couch co-op. All of that really cool, cute little music, and then the demo is over. So I'm like, okay, that one has definitely shot up to my list of I'm pre-ordering that, and that's coming out this August. But then it made me think, like, wait a minute, I haven't played Cat Quest 1 or 2. Are there demos of those? And Nintendo Switch has a demo of Cat Quest 2, not a demo for the first, but for the second. And you can actually see going back, because I didn't play the original 2 titles, you could see the quality jump from the first to the second to the third, getting more and more ambitious. The art style, the gameplay mechanics, you could see that they started off with something solid back in 2017. It was like an October game in that Nintendo Switch first year. Yeah. And then probably, good reviews and successful money and returns led to a bigger second game. And then the third one has a significant jump forward. But I went ahead and bought Cat Quest 2 because the demo for it was good. I'm like, okay, I'm really looking forward to 3, but I'll play 2. Maybe I'll go back to 1 later on. I don't know how integral the story is, but yeah, if you're looking for a little 2D Zelda-like game, I guess I could recommend the demo for Cat Quest 3, and so far the game of Cat Quest 2. So that's been the new thing to playing this week.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
My kids like it too.
That is awesome. Awesome news. It's awesome. Well, on my end, hi guys. I'm Mike Odyssey. I'm some dude here, just kind of, I just kind of broke in the podcast, and I'm sitting here now. Just no apparent reason, drinking Dr. Pepper. But
we were talking about Nintendo. You just had to just kind of come over here.
I just broke in. And
welcome.
So what have I played? I played a little bit of Final Fantasy, not remake, Rebirth. I didn't really do much. I just trained around the field. After that, I went over to Animal Crossing, kicked out a few villagers, got new ones. Still don't know what my island's gonna look like because it's still all natural. Got all my villagers already, all my shops and stuff. Did that, and then I ended up going back and playing this game one more time because the first time I played it, talking about the game from Europa, from the
yeah.
And so I end up going back, and the first time I just wanted to play it from start to finish, just to see how long the demo is, and I'm just kind of listening along the way. But this time I went back to play from the beginning with more understanding, just kind of listening more towards the narrator and looking at the story, looking at the world. And this is definitely going to be one of my games that I'm going to buy when it comes out. If they don't give me like a review code before, because I actually requested one to see if I can get it. But definitely I actually love that demo a lot. I think this Europa game has a lot of potential. Hopefully there's more to the story, more characters there, because the demo doesn't have any characters. It just kind of guides you on some kind of journey towards from point A to point B, and then you kind of collect things along the way, and you do certain things, and you discover certain things, but there are no actual additional characters within the actual demo. Hopefully we get more characters in the actual game. But yeah, that's what I've been doing, and just kind of doing a lot of research, a lot of research for news, because as a gaming journalist, I have a minor in journalism, right? I have a major in digital media, a minor in journalism, and so I'm very nosy, So I have this thing of I want to look for the news instead of just kind of looking at somebody else's report and then repeating that. I actually want to discover things, right? And so, of course, that's why you guys always see that I do videos about patents. I do videos about little tweaks in here that I find here and there, right? And well, that's how we got the Zelda topic today. Information that I got from behind the scenes that I also compared to my notes, and then I found out an update information over here that makes a big giant piece of news that is worthy of talking about, and it is awesome, with the Legend of Zelda movie. But today has been a crazy day, my friends. It's been a day filled with crazy news that never stops coming. I mean, just now I'm looking at Video Games Chronicles. They just made another statement here, another completely different statement, kind of confirming a lot of other information that was said before. And so things are getting spicy. And I'm talking about Nintendo Switch 2. I'm going to put this question out there right before I start recapping everything so that we can go ahead and dive into this topic. I'm going to put this question out there, guys. What if Nintendo Switch 2 is really around the corner and is going to be not only shown, but also released this year? We're going to go ahead and take everything that has been out and see all the evidence out there to try to make the argument or the case or the whatever we find here in this news, the leakers, whatever, and try to see where we are, because it is looking very likely that the reason why we have nothing for the second half of the year and Nintendo just gives us an indie world and a partner showcase, and that's it. And they're fine with that. Right? They have their meeting on the 7th. We're only about a week, 2 weeks away from the meeting, or a week, 2 weeks away from the meeting. And so I want to start out with the very first May 7th. Yeah, May 7th.
I think so. Yeah.
We're going to start off with the very first piece of information, and I'm going to tell you where it comes from, because this is where it comes from is actually very exciting. Okay. I don't know if you've heard, there's this company called MobilePad. Okay. I've talked about it on the channel. I've actually had sponsorships by them on the channel with their controllers. MobilePad makes controllers. They make peripheral. I always have trouble with that word. But they make controllers. They make cases for Nintendo Switch. They make accessories for Nintendo Switch. If you did not know, companies that make accessories at a certain level, right? They that they produce accessories at a certain level and have access to upcoming systems, maybe not the entire system, but maybe a mock-up, a dummy of the system, in order to create their product, their cases. Like, for example, you guys know I worked for Apple for about 10 years, right? I worked in behind the scenes and a whole bunch of other stuff. There were companies out there that had information about the iPhone 15 before it was out, because they needed to make the case that comes with it. Okay. And so Apple will provide these little mock-ups or these little dummy phones of the actual product with everything in the design, so that companies who make the accessories could make their accessories and launch alongside that product. And that's why when you see an iPhone 15 or 16 or an Android come out, then the accessory is always there next to it. You don't have to wait months for that case to come out afterwards. The case normally comes out right there with the accessory. Sometimes they leak ahead. Talking about leaks, MobilePad didn't just leak. They just completely told us everything regarding Nintendo Switch 2 and what they know about it. Okay, and so we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. I'm gonna go ahead and read here, and we're gonna go over these specs here. And you guys are gonna what do you guys think, crew? Should I go over? It's numbered 1 through 7, I think. Should I go over each one?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Like getting your opinions one by one, or all of them at the same time, and then getting your opinions.
Let's go one by one, because I'm gonna forget at like 2 seconds.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, let's do one.
What are we talking about again?
Yeah. So let's do
Where am I?
Where am I? Oh no.
Where am I? Let's do one opinion, like that, right? Okay, let's do that. Let me go ahead and share my screen here, and let me know if you guys can see that there.
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome sauce. Let me see here real quick. Go back. Let me go back to my full screen, because I can't really read on that screen. All right, so we have here the company. The company is MobilePad. Okay. By the way, guys, if you want a controller, this is not sponsored or anything, but I have to stand by them, because I've never tasted. A little bit on my food. I've never tested any controller that is as close to the real thing, meaning as close to the Nintendo product as theirs, with every single feature Nintendo has in theirs, like all the rumbles and all the haptics and even the amiibo functionality. It's all there. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this. Take a look at this, my friends. Look how long it is. Look at everything shared. All right, I'm telling you. It says Nintendo Switch 2 Insider. Insider Insights show everything we know. Why would you do that? I don't know. They want to get dinged by Nintendo. Are you eagerly anticipating news about Nintendo's next generation Switch console? Thought through our partnership with Nintendo Supply Chain. Hello, we have acquired exclusive information about the Nintendo Switch 2, which we are pleased to share with you. Why would you do that, MobilePad? But thank you anyway. Number one, the Bluetooth chip of the Switch 2 still supports existing Joycons and Pro controllers. Yay! So you don't have to buy any other controllers. If you have Joy-Cons in your house, you can use them as extra controllers, or even the Pro controller itself. Because why would they know this? Because they also sell controllers, and that's how they know this. Obviously. It says here after development machine testing. So basically, they've actually tested their controllers on the actual machine, and still features HD vibration, Alps dual axis linear motor. So basically, you know how you move your controller, like that's kind of like balance or whatever. But the volume of the new Joy-Con motor will be smaller, and certainly our Shitu, whatever that is, Shitu and M6S HD controllers, that's like the brand, will remain fully compatible. So any controllers they currently have and they're selling are fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. Let me know your thoughts on number one, guys.
Controller backwards compatibility is cool. I will always buy the next new controller for a Nintendo system. I mean, well, in most cases, I haven't had to buy a second because they've come with one. But I'll usually get a second one for a friend, or these days for my wife, kids, and stuff like that. But this time around, you have such a strong, healthy installed base that all of those Joy-Cons, you don't want them to go into the dumpster bin. You want to keep the Nintendo Switch ecosystem healthy.
Yeah.
And especially if not everybody buys a Nintendo Switch 2 yet, you're going to have some people still playing the base model, and friends that have the new one being able to take their controllers and play it on the old one, and maybe not vice versa with the new controllers on the old system.
Yeah.
Your old controllers work with the new, and if you have the new, you can still bring that back for the old. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was boy, that was a jumbled mess. I don't know. Maybe this coffee kicked in a little bit too fast, but I think it's good. You have the new. I'm looking forward to whatever's new, but everyone's going to be in a good position to hop into the next generation with multiple controllers, and that's exciting. That's
crazy, right? Anybody else want to jump in?
I agree with everything that Paul just said, honestly, because all the Joy-Cons that are already out there, different colors and everything like that, you definitely don't want to get rid of those. But I completely agree. I think it'd be great if there's backwards compatibility with the old Joy-Cons and the old Pro controllers. But then, they're going to give us new things that we might say, okay, well, now we want both. And it's okay if it doesn't go, if the new Joy-Cons don't go on the old Switch.
Yeah. So in this case, sorry. Go ahead, Lilly.
No, I just wanted to simply say you pretty much cover it. I think it's very exciting because, the Joy-Cons downside, as you know, it's the drift and everything that happens, right? But still, I have a lot of friends that have been asking me, hey, is it okay for me to buy a Nintendo Switch or not? And I keep telling, even though if we do get the Nintendo Switch this year, for example, there's still going to be a lot of people with the old consoles. So if we were to hang out and, hey, let's play whatever, Smash Brothers or Mario Kart, we're not going to be able to play. I'm going to say, I have the Nintendo Switch 2 and you can't use your Joy-Cons. No, you can actually. So that's going to be great. I mean, in terms of getting, everybody playing with everybody else. And I think it's going to be great. I think if that is true, that's going to be a great feature.
Yeah, that's
so we're all playing with power.
Nintendo power. Yeah. I can see from a sales perspective that Nintendo might be in a good position that they're achieving two things. On the one hand, you could say that hurts their bottom line for selling new controllers because there's not as great of a need to buy it. However, it's very pro-consumer. But I could see one thing where it's going to still have a good amount of sales, and that is if the Joy-Cons are compatible, but not compatible to be slid on. So they'll be compatible via Bluetooth. So you could use the Joy-Cons independently or the Joy-Cons in the Joy-Con grip and play via Bluetooth with the Nintendo Switch while it's docked in the TV.
Yeah.
But the old Joy-Cons may not be able to slide on. Yeah. Or maybe there will be some kind of peripheral attachment that you then put the Joy-Cons in these things and then put those things on the side. So that might be too cumbersome for some. And like Joycey was saying and Lily was saying, there's still incentive to buy the new one because the new one is cool and it has different things and it's better and it's magnetic and it has a different kind of clicking sound and maybe a scroll wheel or the analog stick pressure. But you give it too much fan accessibility and you're not going to sell new stuff. Not enough, and you're going to have worthless junk that people are going to be upset about. That's a fine line in between. You don't have to buy them, but for the convenience factor of going portable mode, you'll want to buy them because the older ones won't connect physically. I think that would be a good mixture. Those pictures look good, by the way.
Yeah, these right here, these are the Mobile Pad M6, the one they're talking about that will be fully compatible moving forward with the Switch. And these are the same ones I have. I love these controllers. Mm-hmm. They actually come with their the piece on the bottom, like to put them together. They come with their own little snap thingy also to cover the little rail part. They're fully compatible. It looks like an ad for Mobile Pad, but they're great. But these are the controllers that they were talking about here, and they come in these colors too. They're really cool. Ergonomically, they're awesome. But yeah, Paul, that's exactly what it is. They're compatible in Bluetooth form only. Not that they are compatible when you attach them, because later on we'll find out more. But let's go ahead and move to number 2. This is a little out of order. Let's see here. You know what? Let me go to number 3 first, and then number 2. Okay. Because it still has to do with the Joy-Con. So we can go move with the Joy-Con and then proceed. So number 3, it says in handheld mode, the new Joy-Con rails will adopt a horizontal magnetic docking structure for smoother attachment. The SL and the SR button, the triggers, will be metallic and magnetically activated. So basically, you'll have some kind of resistance there with magnets that will kind of work depending on the game that you're playing. And so that goes hand in hand with number 1, which has to do with the controllers, and number 3, that the new controllers, you'll hear about this later on because this one has been talked about by other people as well. That's how we know this is kind of very credible. First thing is Mobile Pad. Mobile Pad has no business in providing this information. They are a big known company for controllers for a while now, and so they are talking about the new feature they need to know this new feature because they need to make their controllers compatible with the same magnetic new attachment for the Nintendo Switch 2. So let me read it one more time. In handheld mode, the new Joy-Con rails will adopt a horizontal magnetic docking structure for smoother attachment, and the SL and SR buttons will be metallic and magnetically activated. Take it away, Joycey. What do you think about that?
I don't speak tech, so
when it comes to convenience, like how, for example, right now the problem that we have with these Joy-Cons is that it's all plasticky, right?
Right.
It's plasticky. So the part of the rail here, for a lot of people, it becomes like wobbly, and so when you put the Switch, kind of like you feel rattle, and even to a point where it actually breaks off because it's all plasticky. What's happening now is that there's a combination of metal and magnets instead of just they can just kind of like maybe like attach like that, like instead of just kind of like with the rails. I mean, they still have rails, but they're differently designed. They're more magnetic. They're more durable. So in that perspective, what do you think about that? Do you think that's a good move? Is it something you would look forward to?
I would. I'm probably not the best person to ask because I just about only play in docked mode.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the option, but I've always been, I want to see it on a big TV kind of gamer. So I'm still kind of like that. But I do like that idea. Low key, a lot of people believe, and this was a rumor a few years ago, that the Switch was kind of made with, great idea, of course, obviously, but it was kind of made with like shelf parts and kind of like and what do we have over here? Okay, let's throw that in, kind of stuff, because they had to get something out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because games were ready, Wii U wasn't doing well, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And now the new Switch is supposed to be kind of what they initially envisioned, with a couple of tweaks here and there. So I think this is one of the tweaks, because we've all been complaining about the regular Joy-Con since day one, whether it mostly drift, but then all those other little things that we're talking about, it's and then sometimes it's even hard to get it to slide down on the Switch if you're not careful.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good point. And what do you think about Lily?
I am in the same boat as Joyce. I don't really use the Switch handheld.
One thing I can tell you is that it also has the triggers are going to be metallic. Okay, they're not going to be plastic anymore. And it's also going to be magnetically activated. So yeah, when you push it, you'll feel the resistance, like the force. When you're playing certain games. So what games do you think could these be good for? Like, for example, Splatoon. There you go. Yeah.
And just to make, I don't know if anybody realizes this, but depending on what weapon you're using in Splatoon, you have some weapons that are a little bit more lightweight, some that are like heavy. And the HD rumble that's already on in the current Joy-Cons and in the Pro controller, you can feel it slightly. But I feel like the new Joy-Cons will give you a better feeling of that. So you kind of know what you're working with as you're moving your character around. And that's just one example. And like I said, that's Splatoon for me. So I'm not sure how it would work with other games as well. But for that one, yeah, that's cool. We already have the rumble part when something's shaking. We already have that.
Rumble. And Paul, you want to add to it?
I've been thinking how the logo is going to animate together this whole time if this magnetic stuff is true. And I'm just picturing the base of the Nintendo Switch 2 in a similar form factor as the Nintendo Switch. And you're seeing this magnetized thing where it's here. And instead of the click, it's the Nintendo Switch solo. And then 2. Like the two Joy-Con get, magnetically, it's just a switch, and then off screen. So imagine the Switch 2 right here, and then off screen, the Joy-Cons snap on because they magnetically, and that's the 2 part. That's 2.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I mean, I was just playing like if I look back at this video, I'm probably like this, and I'm probably doing little things with my hands because I'm just trying to see how would they animate that together, because it was such an important part and fun part of the strategy of the marketing that everybody got used to the click in the commercials and the sounds and the directs.
Yeah.
While you actually slide them on and off, on the Nintendo Switch itself, the colors coordinate with it. Everybody's used to that, and it was smart and satisfying feeling, and they wanted to make a satisfying noise to accompany it, and the logo and everything was beautiful. It was like a lot of thought went into it. So yeah,
makes sense. That's awesome. And
I like to. I was also trying to think of, are there other words for magnets? Nintendo Switch Magneto, but that'd be
kind of cool.
Or a metal that is highly magnetic, like iron or cobalt or nickel.
That
Nintendo Switch Cobalt.
The word attach is just like coming back to me again. I don't like it, but it makes sense now. Attach. So it
does make sense. I was thinking the same thing.
Nintendo Switch Connected.
And I hate that name.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, oh man. I mean, it attaches like in a certain way. So, all right. So let's get out of the attached mind frame. We have number 2, which is I think one of the most exciting features that everyone wants to see. Okay, directly from MobilePad. I got to remind you, this is MobilePad. This is not a leaker. They're not a leaking company. They're a controller company who spoke about their experience. They just laid it out. Okay. Number 2 says, the cartridge slot on the Nintendo Switch will support backwards compatibility with existing Switch game cards. Both physical and digital. However, new game cards designed for Switch 2 will not be compatible with the original console, which is obviously that's what I've kind of wanted already. Yeah, Nintendo Switch games, the library that you have, a lot of people have hundreds of games, either digital or physical. They're compatible with Switch 2. I'll give this to Paul.
Backwards compatibility is a huge plus. It's going to keep the Nintendo Switch library happy and exciting, and it's going to keep the sales of Nintendo Switch games thriving for longer because nobody has all 5,000 titles on that system, and they're going to continue to sell, and that's important. Obviously, not being backwards compatible in those regards, that's not going to be a thing because that just doesn't happen. So it's smart. Personally, though, even though this was a wanted feature for me, it was never a deal breaker because that's what multiple HDMI ports are. I mean, back in the day, I had my NES, N64, Super Nintendo, GameCube, PS2, Xbox, Wii, everything hooked up to one TV. They're all just daisy chained around by RF cables that went into each other, a couple of them on the stereo. So if I had to have my Nintendo Switch and my Nintendo Switch 2 occupying two different HDMI ports because it wasn't backwards compatible, so be it. If I had to take this portable system and have one portable system here and one portable system here to play, so be it. So that wasn't a deal breaker for me, but it is quite nice, and it does help out a lot of people, and it does allow people to trade in their old systems too. You know what I mean? And
and
they'll be playing, accessing their old library. And it is just, it is nice. So if that's true, I'm very happy about that.
That was actually a poll that I put out just to make sure to see, just to test the waters and see who it needs to trade in their current Nintendo Switch. And I think that it's still on the channel somewhere. It was a while ago, but I got around an 80% Switch. They needed to trade in their Switch before they get the next one because they couldn't afford just buying the next, so backwards compatibility, man. And the thing is that for people who want the next Nintendo Switch, they want to jump in to the system and they don't have, let's say, a lot of money for games right away. They already have their library they can bring with them, and then maybe play with AI upscaling, right? In the better resolution. Maybe some games will actually run better because there are games that lag a little bit on Nintendo Switch, especially third-party games. And so that backwards compatibility, both with cartridge and with digital is a big thing. Take it away, Lily.
So is it going to be a deal breaker for me? Not really, because it's Nintendo, and I agree with Paul in terms of I will have my old Switch and the new Switch if that happens. However, it'll be super nice to have because we have never had anything like that before. Also, keep in mind that everything is moving to having access to your. I mean, one of the biggest thing about Nintendo is that a lot of the older games we're not able to play anymore, especially because they're shutting down their stores and stuff like that. And I believe that it has something to do with this. In nowadays, we can play any older games on any other console. So Nintendo has to step up, and they really have to give us something so that we can have access to all the library and everything that we have in our hands. That's why we have the NSO. I know a lot of people are still struggling and deciding whether if they want to pay the membership or not. I understand when they say oh, I bought the game on the virtual console, now I don't have it, etc. I understand where they're coming from, but I feel like we are leaning towards that. If this is true, this is definitely going to be a great feature. And also all the other Nintendo Switch out there, because there still are Nintendo Switch out there. They're going to be keep selling, of course. And so a lot of people will get their Nintendo Switch. So I feel like business-wise, that could be a great move for them to start with that. So yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah. I agree. Josie?
I want to read something that Zach has put in the chat. Zach is having technical difficulties. That's the only reason why he's not here. But dude, we so miss you. But he made a good point. He said, I think that it's very important to note that MobaPad did not get any of this info from Nintendo, is they aren't a licensed partner like Power A. That's not to say this is incredible. MobilePad even opened their statement letting us know that this info came from a partner in the Switch supply chain, meaning that MobilePad got this info from another company. Chat jumped. From another company who makes parts and chips for the Switch. So while I fully believe this info is 100% valid, that doesn't mean this is everything new about the Switch. So then, not mentioning anything about 4K upscaling.
Listen, I agree with this, but we did say here, Nintendo's our partner with Nintendo supply chain. So I feel like that. I don't want to be negative, but it's already been stated through our partner in supply chain. So you know what I mean?
I just wanted to read it because I know he really wants to be here.
But there's some credibility behind MobilePad, just not just because it's MobilePad and because they're not, let's say, directly connected with Nintendo. Although I believe, as I've working for Apple for 10 years and working with companies that have to have contact with things, MobilePad does have some sort of access. They need access as an accessory company, and it doesn't matter what type of company you are, whether small or big. You make accessories, and it's not hard to get a license to go in there and make accessories. Actually, you have to have some sort of license in order to sell something for the Nintendo Switch. You can't just say, you know what, I'm going to open my company one day, and this is going to be for the Switch, and it's going to work with a controller that I made myself, and I'm going to sell it. No, you need a license to sell that. It's going to work with Nintendo Switch, and just like you need a license to sell a case for an iPhone. If you're going to sell it officially and you want to be from the beginning, you need a license to sell things for. It's called a MiFi certificate that you need to acquire for Apple, and this is the same with every other technology company. So I know MobilePad for a while. I know they are a good company. They do have a license because they have their controllers actually have NFC, which not a lot of other controllers do have, and with that they do have the license from Nintendo to add the NFC feature to their controllers, while others could not get that license all the way. A lot of the controllers from Power A don't have a lot of the features that MobilePad have on their controllers, and Power A is a much bigger company than MobilePad. What I'm saying is that all companies that work on accessories, they have some sort of access. Now, what they do with that information, I personally don't agree that MobilePad went ahead and just spilled it out. I am a journalist, you know what I mean? So we're going to talk about it. But when it comes to having access, when it comes to having a license for a product and a company who makes products, it's not a hard thing to acquire. And I believe that MobilePad does have a license to create controllers and sell Joycon controllers or accessories for Nintendo Switch. Now, how they got this information, they stated pretty clear here through our partnership with Nintendo supply chains. All right, so Nintendo has to apply. Actually, they have to approve those partnerships, because when you are a partner with the supply chain, you have access to behind the scenes features. You have access to a design factor of a controller or a phone or a product that has not been announced yet. So you have to have some approval from Nintendo before you become a partner by one of Nintendo's supply chains. You know what I mean? So I wanted to put that out, put this out there. Not taking away,
Mike.
But, yeah.
Okay, so let me finish what I was saying. Because also Zach said, I wish I was on camera to talk about this in more detail, but that's not correct. MobilePad does not have a license. Me, you, or our cousin could sell a Switch compatible controller.
Yeah. This is not near the place or the time to argue this. We're talking about the news that are now.
We're not arguing.
I
think we want to make sure that we're putting out clear information. Nobody's arguing.
But again, we're not putting out bad information. We're just sharing information that's already out there. And this is only the first source of information. And we're going to go over other sources. We're going to go over VGC Chronicle, very, very credible source. We're going to go over My Nintendo News with the same information. And that's why I started with MobilePad, okay? But MobilePad is not the only source of this information. That's what I'll put it out there. All right, so let's go ahead and continue here. All right, we are number 3 with the backwards compatibility, and the number 4 says the Switch 2 will retain a USB-C port for docking, compatible with the new generation of docks, featuring minor design enhancements. So apparently on number 4, it states here that we are getting a brand new dock with minor design enhancements. Anybody want to jump on that?
I think we have been seeing a lot of the possible upgrades or modifications on the dock, especially because of the patent that we were discussing a couple of podcasts ago. So, I mean, if they do that, we really need an enhancement for the dock. We do agree that it's just a piece of plastic there, and it does have the ports and everything, but there isn't really like a lot of things that useful in it. And that'll be nice.
And Paul, what you want to chime in on the new dock redesign?
Yeah, I mean that could be further proof, possibly, to go ahead with the patent of the swivel on the back. So since the swivel comes out of Nintendo's patent, and this is suggesting that the dock has, something new and things would have to interact well, it might be more than just the swivel just being there, but could the dock this time use a hard drive to connect to it instead of a micro SD XC card? And in order to do that, it would need a little bit something else in the back, or just some internals to allow that type of reader, or maybe an SSD drive to be connected to it. Like, I want to see the dock. I would love docks to have, like interchangeable faceplates.
Oh yeah,
I would like that, kind of like the new Nintendo 3DS had.
That'd be nice.
I mean, you could make a lot probably on having the Animal Crossing theme, the next Mario thing, the Zelda thing. It'd be so cool. Then again, you could then say, well, then that takes away kind of the allure of having, specific themed consoles. But you could do something different, like, Joy-Cons, or these Joy-Cons only come out with this console and the console's back is emblazoned on this, or this whole setup only comes with this unique console, but like the grand awesome new Zelda thing only comes out with the console when you buy that and those new Joy-Cons. But you could still get like a cool different Zelda faceplate, and third parties could do it. Then again, you might remember my idea from last week where the face of the dock isn't there, so you could always see the Nintendo Switch screen, so it could do more things. But
I like it. I actually really did like that one. The fact that when you have a dock, the face part is not there, so you can actually see something in there, or maybe have like a nice animation of the game that's happening while you're playing it. Yeah, that'd be cool. Jesse, what do you think, Joyce, about the new dock?
I think my concern. It's okay. I was gonna say, I don't know if concern is the right word, because guys, I'm not technology savvy like at all. So to me, it seems like if we have the dock, I'm more thinking about what it can upscale and all that other stuff, because it is a piece of plastic. I do wish it was a lot more sturdy, if you will. Because I think about people like friends of mine that have kids, and some of them have Switches, and kids just a little bit more destructive with stuff. So that's what I think about when I think about things like this. But as far as having the USB port, I think that just makes sense. That's just about that's what everybody has now. My phone has like USB. So that all of that makes sense. But I'm really trying to think about it says that there's going to be compatible with the new generation of docks. I'm not sure what that means. Like, so just switch to docks, or are they going to start selling docks that are compatible with the new Switch that do different things? Like what's happening?
I think that the Switch 2 dock, that particular dock is only going to be
Mhm.
compatible with the Switch 2. I think that's what they're saying there. Then I think if the number 5 also kind of goes on the docking. I think it goes with what you're saying, Jersey, about the build quality. It says the redesigned dock will include a metal damping bracket for improved angle adjustments. I don't know what that means, like an angle adjustment.
Could be the angle related to the swivel in the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And magnetic parts are actually good because I remember some early stories of people putting on the Joy-Cons wrong.
Yeah.
And that gliding rail becoming pretty difficult to come off and people kind of scratching it and stuff like that. And you kind of can't mess up with a magnet. I mean, you could put the magnet on backwards and it's just going to go off. Or if you put it on the other one, well, that's not going to quite work. You're going to have to hold it weird. So
yeah,
magnet is less moving parts and could be, more of a solid unit. And if the back has any kind of magnetic thing, that's also one less thing to click in and click off that you're just attaching off.
Yeah.
So better, longer lasting parts.
And we were also talking about, when we were looking at the patent about the swivel, is that the main purpose of being able to rotate that part is for you to be able to connect the cables on the right or the left side, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing that that could improve, and that we saw in the patent that we were discussing. So
that actually makes sense when you pair it up with this information, right? It does make sense. And then let's see here, the last one, number 6, the screen will be upgraded to 1080p. That is basically that's been out there for a long time. Resolution and slightly larger dimensions. In essence, the Switch 2 presents a conservative evolution in hardware, resembling a refined Pro version of the Switch. So basically, it's a better version of what we already have. Don't expect craziness and changes, but something similar to what we have, just with all the improved specs, like better Joy-Cons, the bigger screen, and the little hardware features that could actually make your experience just a bit better. What do you guys think about the entire list here? Because what we're gonna do here is go over this list really quickly, go over to some other sources to confirm this same information. Just go over here like this. People are talking about the same, and then we'll move on to our next topic. So what do you guys think about all the information here?
All I know is that I'm still Team 2024 for reveal, Team 2025 for release. And I'm just excited for whatever it is. I just want to see what the darn thing is and what it does.
Yeah. How about you, Paul?
I'm all up for a 1080p screen.
Yeah.
I know some people have their qualms of the more power you have, the better the screen looks, the more it's going to drain the battery. But don't worry about the battery so much. Battery, you could always have a pack. Battery, you could always charge. Battery, you could always dock. Battery, you could always play next to a power outlet.
Yeah.
But the things like the amount of RAM, the specs, the teraflops, the internal guts, the storage medium, like you cannot change that. I would take a system with a 1 hour lousy battery life because I could fix that later. I could never fix once that system's out. That's it.
Yeah.
So 1080p screen is good. That also bodes well that if they go and have any kind of VR, even if it's simple, it's instantly going to be a lot more clear on your face if you use that screen, kind of like the way Labo did.
Yeah.
And regarding the power leap, I mean, you're talking about 8 years later. There's so much that you could do that even if Nintendo themselves views it as just a minor upgrade, that minor upgrade is going to be pretty significant if they're using fairly new parts of a couple of years ago, because Nintendo Switch is based off of like 2015 architecture. If this thing's based off of a very modest 2022, not even cutting edge, it's like 7 years more advanced. So I think it's underselling, in my opinion, of just how big of a leap forward it's going to be. It's going to be felt pretty substantially. Could be wrong, but that's my interpretation.
I agree.
No way it's going to be tiny.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, remember, guys, this is information. And right now, there's a lot of collaboration for this information.
Collaboration.
Collaboration.
Not collaboration. The other one, cooperation.
Cooperate.
Cooperate. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a lot of
Cooperate the story. Yeah.
For this information here, but again, until Nintendo announces the thing, nobody really know.
Take the Switch swivel.
Yeah.
Attach.
Switch
64Q.
swivel.
Yeah, take it like it is. Exciting information is still a rumor until Nintendo confirms. Everything is rumor until Nintendo confirms. You know, Miyamoto's Nintendo. He doesn't qualify, but Miyamoto's son cannot be employed by Nintendo and talk about things that are coming, and it's still a rumor because he's not employed by Nintendo. He's not Nintendo. You know. So let's go ahead and move over to this is the mobile pad. I'm gonna go over to my Nintendo news really quick here. And right here we have rumors, Spanish site vandal shares Switch 2 information. We have another, basically the same exact thing. If you see here, especially manufacturers have been able to touch the console but not see it. Everybody, that's hilarious, right? Every manufacturer agrees the console won't release this year and will release in early 2025. A bit bigger than the current Switch model, but nowhere close to Steam Deck size. So it's gonna be, of course, it'll be bigger since the screen is bigger. You know, Joycons will change their attachment system from rails to magnetic system. Here we go again. The current ones won't be forward compatible. See, so basically, the current ones won't be forward compatible. They will be compatible via Bluetooth, according to the other one, but they won't be forward compatible as in you can attach it. So it's attached. I don't want that. And the current Pro controller will work on Switch 2. So yeah, the Bluetooth part. So this is a different source here. We click on the source here. This is agree and close. No, please, no virus. Exclusiva Switch 2. Conocemos en primicia nuevos detalles filtrados de la próxima consola de Nintendo. What does that mean?
Exclusive Nintendo Switch 2. We know the details, rumored details, of the Nintendo console.
So we know that for the first time, new leaked details of the next Nintendo console. So basically, another corroboration of the prior story. We have this one. Let's go over to the My Nintendo News. And Business from Korea says Switch 2 could launch in 2024 and uses Samsung components. All right, so right here, what we have is basically more information on the Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, I'm gonna go over it really quickly here. Another Switch 2 leak has emerged, and this time it is from Business Korea. The Korean publication claims a number of things, including that we could be seeing Switch 2 released at the end of the year. After all, the site also says that Samsung is the main component provider for the platform and that the system will use NVIDIA Tegra 239 chip, which means it could be a similar power to Sony's PS4 with some ray tracing capabilities and DLSS. You can read the main points from the article. I'm not going to read it, but the important points are Switch 2 is expected to launch as early as the second half of this year. Suppliers have reportedly reached a considerable degree of agreement for initial production contracts. Samsung Foundry will fabricate the SoC on Samsung's 7LP process node. Samsung will provide the NAND storage for both the cartridges and the internal memory. That's really good news. Samsung has overcome competitors from China to be the display supplier. This information also has corroborated. Okay, this is corroborated by OREXDA, primarily a leaker for Samsung Electronics. So basically, I know this guy. This guy has a really good track record when it comes to Samsung Electronic leaks, and it has been corroborated by this person here. Nintendo Switch 2 is expected to launch as early as the second half of this year. Rumor, significant contracts have already been. Basically, this is the corroboration by OREXDA, and this is right here. So this is what they're talking about here. All right. So that's another corroboration. There are many more corroborations for the Nintendo Switch 2, but if more come, we'll touch on it on the next podcast because we have another episode. First things first. I want to get you guys' opinion on this title. Business Korea Switch 2 could launch 2024. What do you guys think?
It's possible. Sorry, guys, I'm in the background. I have to take care of something real quick, but I'm still here.
You're good, Yoshi.
I still think it's going to be revealed this year.
Yeah.
And then they'll do something. So they'll either do some discounts on games or something for the holiday season. But Switch, Nintendo knows Switch itself is on, as far as sales are concerned. They're not bad for the year that we're in. They're not bad at all, but they are down on the downturn. So they're either gonna take a risk at holiday and just say, look, we're gonna reveal this thing, and we get sales, great. If we don't, fine. But if they announce it and say that it's backwards compatible, that's a perfect time to put a slash on their games.
Yeah.
Although the last 4 weeks in a row now, Nintendo Switch has been outselling its 2023 self in Japan.
Well,
now
there we go.
Japan, but pretty impressive.
That's a good metric. Little good note. I only think oh my god, I'm having a brain fart.
Huh? What's wrong? What you looking for?
I'm looking for Miss Lilly here.
Yeah, she's right there.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I was going to tell you Hyrule Lily. It's not Hyrule Lily. It's Lilly Hyrule. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if a lot of things are getting out there, and there's a huge gap with Nintendo releases and everything. I mean, they could potentially just go with it, right? Yeah. It's almost like when you see like a new trailer that got leaked, right? They go ahead and announce it right away. That being said, I don't really think, like, I don't believe that they have it ready yet. They're still working on it. But they definitely have to give us something, at least like a teaser or something. Like, hey, this is coming, this is happening. But I don't know. I mean, we won't know until we can hear it directly from the official source, that is Nintendo, right? I feel like also a lot of websites and sources are going to be sharing a lot of information about this, because this is the hype. This is how excited we are to hear something from it. And we haven't heard anything for a very long time. So, but honestly, I will go 50-50. I will go 50% that it could be this year, another 50 chance that it's going to be next year. So I'm going to go with 50-50.
We got to hit on our next topic.
Yeah, we are right now.
We got to give the people what they came for.
That's why I turned it out there, so we can go ahead and jump, because this topic this one is pretty exciting, because it has to do. All right, so for those of you who do not know, you know what? I should let Lily and Joycey.
All right, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Paul. You can leave now.
Yeah, we got this. No, I'm kidding. Paul's actually a very big Zelda fan too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. All right, so quick recap. If you guys didn't know, last year around the month of October to November, Miyamoto took to Twitter and made a huge announcement. All right, and he stated, "Hey guys, what's up? Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, all that stuff." He goes
to everybody.
Yeah. He goes, so I have a huge announcement to make. I've been working along with Avita Ron, he's Avita Ron Productions, on a live action movie of the Legend of Zelda movie. Okay. Now he also mentioned that they've been working on this for 10 years. So while we were all arguing whether we get animated or live action, he knew this for 10 years. He's like, nope,
not happening.
I'll let them argue. We're getting a live action movie. And so this was back in November of 2023 where they announced it. Where now we are in April of 2026, right? And so with that, came more announcements. Avita Rod, by the way, is the one responsible for the majority, or if not a lot, the majority of the good Marvel Cinematic Movie Universe, the good side, the one before before, I think it's still okay, but when it was good, right? The one with Dan is the what do you call that? The Infinity Saga. Is that what it's called? Infinity Saga, along with the Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland. Okay, and so he was with Avid Productions and Sony. He worked closely on those films. Now you can also look at IMDb and look at his page to see what else he's worked on. But he's worked on that, and then also some left from out of left field or like from out of nowhere, like Randy Orton with one of what he does. He said, "Oh yeah, and Sony is producing the movie along with Nintendo. Nintendo providing more than 50% of the revenue, and Sony providing the rest. So it's like when we have PlayStation people fighting with Nintendo people over here. Here's Nintendo and Sony behind the scenes, just high-fiving each other and just like fist butting, and just having lunch and everything. And so they made that announcement, and so far that's all we knew, right? That's everything we had so far. Well, it looks like Nintendo and Sony, and there's been a big update on the IMDb website, which is let me tell you about IMDb. IMDb is where you find movies, you find actors, and you find the movies they've been working on and what they're going to currently work on. There's a misconception out there that IMDb is as loose as Wiki. No, it's not. IMDb is tighter than WikiLeaks. Okay, it's not as anybody can add that there. I went ahead and did it myself. I have an IMDb Pro website account, which you have to pay for, by the way. And at that point, so that I can have contacts to like voice actors and stuff like that. That's how I contact voice actors and how I contact their agents and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I created a fictitious movie, right? I'm like, Super Mario meets Zelda, whatever, a movie, and I attached a whole bunch of actors to it, like Chris Pratt as Zelda. I did a whole bunch of I did like the biggest crazy movies you can never do, right? I press send. I'm like, is it gonna go through? I might as well upload some pictures too. Like I did the whole thing.
AI generated.
Did the whole thing. Right. Okay. So I'm like, it didn't go through right away. I got an email later on saying, I'm sorry, this is denied.
Okay, so it's filtered. We know it's being regulated.
Yeah, they denied it. They denied my post, my link, whatever. I tried adding myself to a movie as an actor. I was denied.
So you're not Spider-Man?
No, I'm not Spider-Man.
Oh, gee.
See, I had already told all my friends I know Spider-Man. Come on, Mike. Dang it.
I tried.
What?
I even tried adding myself as an extra. Come on, please. Let me just be an extra.
No. Oh, come on. Just use my script. I did it right. I promise.
You can't use yourself as an extra. Now, you can create. You have to have an IMDb Pro and create a page for an entirely new movie, which you have to provide proof and documentation that you are a part of that movie, or that you are the producer, the director, or some sort of thing, right? And so it is a very well guarded website there. There's a new update to the website. Let me go ahead and go over the IMDb page here, because it's exciting, looking at things for The Legend of Zelda. Actually, let me go to IMDb Pro. IMDb Pro. IMDb Pro, and then go over to The Legend of Zelda, because there's been some updates for the movie. All right. All right, and let me share my screen here.
You're ready?
Hopefully.
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Hopefully I don't get booted. We're sharing behind the scenes from the, I'm on my account. All right, let's see here. If I get
create a new email, make a new one if you have to.
All right, so I'm on here on the Legend of Zelda IMDb Pro. Of course, they don't have an image just yet. You guys see everything there? Good.
Yes, you can see
it. So The Legend of Zelda action, adventure, fantasy. Okay. The director is Wes Ball. If you just to give you guys some good news off the back, I'm gonna go over to his X account.
Twitter. Well, X, yeah.
Or his Twix account.
Twitter. It's Twitter.
So listen, next month, Planet of the Apes comes out. Okay, Planet of the Apes, right? Is that it? Is that it? Yeah,
Planet of the
Yeah, it's coming out next month. What if the movie's coming out next month? What does that mean? It's done, right?
He's free to work on Zelda.
Look at finishing Planet of the Apes soon to explore Hyrule. All right,
freaking cool.
When he wrote that, he was still working on Planet of the Apes. Okay, he's done with Planet of the Apes. Right now, all we're waiting for to hear from the Zelda movie is the premiere. Red carpet premiere. That's when the premiere happens, on the red carpet premiere. After that, it's open field. We're going to be hearing about the production straight from Wes Ball. He's very active on social media about things he's working on. I don't know how Nintendo's going to take that, but very active. The movie's out there. You know, when it comes to video games and movies, it's very different, right? We see the scenes, little clips here and there. We see costumes sometimes. We're going to be seeing stuff, you know? It's not like video games that all we get is rumors. We actually have the director with his own page, but by the way, go follow him, Wes Ball, and you'll see stuff from The Legend of Zelda there. So, guess what?
He's a fan.
He is a fan.
That's a good thing.
He is a fan, and so he is the director. The writer is Derek Connolly. I don't know much about Derek Connolly, but we can go ahead and look at his IMDb page and see that he worked in Jurassic World Dominion. He worked at Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I love that movie.
Great movie.
You know? And so he's super young, man. He's super young. Jurassic World and Safety Not Guaranteed. And he has a whole bunch of, he has awards. He won an award for something. You know, he also worked on Kong Island, King Kong movie, which is pretty cool.
That's a good movie. Great movie.
Right? And so we know that at least when it comes to the writer, we are in good hands. And by the way, you know, the writer and Shigeru Miyamoto are gonna be like this, right? You know, Shigeru Miyamoto, if he sees something doesn't like, he's gonna scrap it.
I feel like it's more gonna be Shigeru Miyamoto, just kind of like, what you writing? What's that?
Exactly.
No, not that.
No,
can't do that.
Like,
do it over. Do the. That's it. Just do the whole thing over.
Can you imagine him like over his shoulder, like not saying a word? Doesn't want to bother, but like, okay, what is it? I don't want to be a bother, but that part right there, no. So the penny goes like, I mean, what it goes? No, I think that penny's a little more sharper than something.
That blade of grass is not supposed to be in that shot.
Yeah, that's for the next movie. It gives out too much information. But all we know so far is that Avita Rad, remember we spoke about him, and Shigeru Miyamoto are the ones attached. But we now have a new producer who has been attached to the movie. It's called his name is Joe Hardwick, right? And his information. He worked with the Maze Runner, Jumper, the Maze Runner, basically all the Maze Runner trilogy. Yeah, and the movie Jumper, which I believe was a good movie. I don't know why I didn't get any more movies, but it was a good movie. And of course, he is directly tied to Oddball Entertainment. Now, who is Oddball Entertainment? Well, Oddball Entertainment is a production company of none other than director Wes Ball. You know, so there's that connection there. They're tied together. So now we know we have that. And if you guys didn't know who Havid Arad is, you'll see here where he's into the. Come on. Tell me that this movie is not in good hands. Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the only thing I'm concerned is that I saw a bunch of people arguing about Morbius, and I'm like, hey, don't pay attention to that one. Look at this other one.
That's a Sony mistake. It's not a Avita Rad mistake.
And also imagine this, or remember this. You know, sometimes, you know, it's a little tough for somebody to get a hit. I mean, a big hit.
Yeah.
I always think about the Back to the Future movies, how many times the directors were and the writers were told no before somebody took a chance on them. And it's all these years later, and it's still like such a major cult classic. It was a huge blockbuster at its time. So it could be a minute before somebody gets that crazy big hit, and but here's the good news. When it's I'm going to trust their process, because as a huge fan of the series and a writer, I tell you guys all the time, I wrote my own script, I have my own story. There is a way to write a very, very good script for the newcomers, the people who've never heard of Zelda, the people who've only played maybe 1 or 2 games and they're not as familiar with it anymore. There is a ton of source material. There is a ton of lore. Think of all of our favorite Zelda YouTubers who are mainly lore channels, and they talk about the lore. They connect all kind of different dots. They break down the timeline, all these different things. This guy has so much that he could draw from, that I don't think it's going to just be one movie. I don't think it's going to just be a one-time one-off or anything like that. If they do it well, it's going to keep going for several years to come. So I'm just excited. I'm very excited to see what they come up with. And I even wonder if I'm going to be able to take off my writer and my critical thinking cap so I can just sit back and enjoy it. Otherwise, I'll be sitting in the theater like, nope, that's not how that's supposed to go. You got this wrong. You got that. No, I want to be able to, I hope I can just enjoy what is presented to me, because I'm very excited. Very excited to see what they come up with.
You just said something very, very, very genius right there. Okay, and it kind of makes
I'm doing smart things.
it kind of makes sense with why they chose who they chose. If you know, Alvaro has been involved in the Marvel universe, right? So he has a whole bunch of sequels under his belt, right? The entire Infinity Saga, right? Every movie within that, across the Spider-Verse, the Spider-Man trilogy is all under his verse, right? And not his verse, and under his belt. Wes Ball, right? If you look at Wes Ball, he has the Maze Runner trilogy under his belt. Another person who has worked on more than one movie in a trilogy, right? Joel Hartwick, the same exact thing, right? They worked on trilogies, and so it makes sense that they put this group together, because they're not only thinking of one Zelda movie. They're thinking of I'm gonna call that the Zelda cinematic universe, But what do you think? What do you think, Lily?
Ooh, I'm very, very nervous, I have to say.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I feel like, first of all, I wasn't expecting this right away. Like, of all the IPs from Nintendo, I wasn't really expecting them to jump very quickly into The Legend of Zelda. But I feel that they want to do that because, of course, we're going to get a Nintendo Cinematic Universe. We're going to get more Nintendo movies and more Nintendo adaptations. And being a live action makes me a bit nervous, especially because of Link. We know that he doesn't talk. Well, he does. He does, but we are Link, right? We are the hero. So he talks through us, basically. But that will pretty much mean that we're gonna listen to Link for the first time. But that also means that Nintendo will bring more and more and more IPs. So I'm hoping for a Metroid movie. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Other things there. So I feel that Shigeru Miyamoto really needs to be working very closely to make sure that everything is a success, because this is going to be the pivoting to the new movies or the upcoming movies that we're going to get from Nintendo. I am very excited that they're getting updates there. They're not really giving us a lot of information, but at least we know that they're currently moving forward with it. Let's also keep in mind that this movie is set to be released on April 3rd of 2026. So they have plenty of time to still going with that. So I don't know. It's just, I'm excited. I am happy that they're moving forward with it smoothly.
Are you talking about the other movie in the Mario universe?
Huh?
The April 2026 movie?
The other one? No. Legend of Zelda is going to be released in 2026.
Where
Right?
where was that?
Who said that?
There's
I want to know.
Or do we have a source for that, or that's what you believe?
no.
Let me see, because that would be breaking news for me. I want to say it.
Well, I that's what I understood basically. So
I know there's a movie in the Mario universe, an animated movie.
Oh, you mean the Mario Brothers? Yeah, that's right.
one's
That's right.
April.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2026. Yeah. I was gonna say, man.
It was 2025. I know it was next year, right?
Yeah.
For the Legend of Zelda. Okay, it's just that they have not announced. You're absolutely right. They have not announced the actual release date. I got a little bit confused with the.
It's going to be a while before we get that, but we're still excited for the Mario Brothers. But
I'm
we're
excited.
talking about
Yeah.
Zelda.
Oh, you got me excited.
I'm nervous because I absolutely love Zelda, and I just
gotta let it grow, though. We gotta grow.
Let it grow.
I really want. I know Paul is like dying to say something, but 1 second. I just have to say, like, growing up with this series and seeing the very humble beginnings to where we are now, that's just such a joy. I never, if you had told me in 1986, oh yeah, there's going to be a Breath of the Wild style game, there's going to be an Ocarina of Time style game, there's going to be a Wind Waker style game. It's like, yeah, no, there wouldn't. Yeah, and so this is big. So I think we need to go in with a very open mind, open hearts, all that good stuff. Yeah. And the fact that a fan is writing this, it doesn't mean it's going to be fan fiction. So it's not going to be a whole bunch of stuff that just caters to us as fans. It just means that it's somebody who loves the series as much as we do. Yeah. So that gives me a lot of hope, and I'm not really worried. And also just know, guys, Link is totally going to talk. It's very, very possible. Doesn't mean he has to talk every 2 seconds, but he's going to talk, of course, because it's not going to make total sense if he doesn't, unless they were just making a series just for Zelda fans and it was only available like through like Switch or something like that. Mm-hmm. That would be the only way that would make sense.
Yeah, and I feel because with the Super Mario Brothers movie, pretty much they kind of set the bar there, and I'm pretty sure and I'm confident that Shigeru Miyamoto is going to do an amazing job with Legend of Zelda as well. But it's just, I do want to trust the process. I don't want to have my high expectations either. I just want to enjoy the movie. And there are a lot of adaptations out there that they were great. And
we are in a post Lord of the Rings world. We're in a post Game of Thrones world.
Yeah. For sure.
So when you think about, I think about what HBO did with Game of Thrones. Yes, I know we can argue about where certain parts of the story went wrong, but overall, that was a time. Okay, that was when social media was fun, and everybody collectively got together on Sunday nights to watch Game of Thrones. If I think about what they could do with an HBO budget, but we're playing with Nintendo money. We're playing with Sony money. Money's a good thing in this case. Okay. So we're going to get if there's going to be CGI, we're going to get top CGI. We're going to get top tier battle scenes, top tier fighting, top tier action, fantasy, romance. We're probably going to get those darker themes that we've been begging for since Majora's Mask, more obviously dark, not just you can interpret it as dark. We're going to get we're going to get all the things. And of course, but I will say this, one thing that is going to be for certain, when the story's over, the hero wins. Okay. Spoiler alert. The hero wins. Okay. If he doesn't, that definitely means we're getting a sequel.
Dark time. But to add to what Joycey was saying, let me read this to you. It says this is Ball talking, okay? Wes Ball, the director. It's gonna be awesome, Ball promises. My whole life has led up to this moment. That's
yes.
Okay. I grew up on Zelda, and it is the most important property. I think that's untapped IP, if you will. So we very much are working hard to do something. We're not just trying to do it because we can. We want to make something really special. Ball is speaking to EW from the.
Oh, that's EW interview. Nice.
From New Zealand, where he is currently overseeing. This is an old interview, by the way. He was still overseeing the production of Kingdom Planet of the Apes. out May 24th. Go watch it in theaters. The first entry into the science fiction franchise. Matt Reeves, blah, 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 blah. He says, we're working on a script, and whether it's the next one or not, it's hard to say exactly, he explains, but certainly the plan is after Apes is done to have a little bit of rest time. Yeah, he needs to rest, right? And then dive into Zelda and hopefully give fans what they are hoping for and also invite new people in, right? So that's important. Give fans what they're hoping for and invite new people in. So don't expect this to be a crazy deep into lore kind of movie just yet. This is an introduction to the Legend of Zelda for us and for the mainstream audience as well, because what we want to get out of this movie is more fans to join the franchise. And that's what the Mario movie did. That it made Mario even bigger than you thought it was going to be. If you thought he couldn't get bigger, he did. I think Nintendo's desire to introduce people to this world that's been around for 40 years. Since I could never even hope to have the chance to direct it, the next big mocap Avatar like movie should be him. This is him in 2010. Okay, this is his tweet. He's like, since I could.
They actually went through all his tweets to find that.
Yeah.
Twitter is better than the FBI.
Yeah.
So they can find anything, anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so it's crazy, right? Since 2010, Wes has been after the Legend of Zelda. All right. Now he finally has it in his hands. And I believe that he's gonna do a great. I'm like Josie. I'm gonna put all my faith in there. I know Miyamoto's behind it too. Miyamoto is very overprotected with his baby, Yeah. And I think it's gonna be awesome. I think we have more updates here. Look at all this entire page has been updated. Because so far we only had Arad Productions and Sony Pictures. But now Columbia Pictures, which is still part of Sony, was added. We have Nintendo Company, we have Nintendo JP, we have Oddball Entertainment, which is Wes Ball's production company. We have Sony Pictures Animation. So you know there's gonna be some animated
CGI.
CGI. Yeah. I mean, how else are they gonna
how else are we gonna fight Star-Lord? Mike, you haven't met Star-Lord yet, but he's a great boss in Twilight Princess. You'll meet him.
Okay. And so I'm gonna stay closer to home and say Gorons. They're made of
Gorons too. Yeah.
Right.
There's a way to do it with regular actors, but if they can CGI it well, then okay.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot in the movie that will be CGI. I would say the huge castle, when they shoot the castle from afar, they're not gonna build a brand new castle. They're gonna shoot the castle, it'll look real, but then
if they do, I'm going.
Or they can use. There's plenty of castles all over the world that they could still that they might be able to use. You got to remember.
You're right. You're right.
You got to remember. Jay-Z and Beyonce rented out the Louvre art, really famous art museum in New York. If they're gonna rent it out to hip hop artists, somebody from Nintendo can go rent out a castle. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Man, that would be crazy, because then we can go see the actual
live from the castle, like I don't know, somewhere in England or something like that. Or
Hyrule, we here at Zelda's castle, and we're waiting for King Rome to just make an appearance. But
I'm sorry. I feel like I feel like we're leaving Paul out because we're just so excited. Paul, please tell us what you think.
Go ahead, Paul. What do you think?
I'm absorbing it all, and yeah, I have the utmost faith in Nintendo in this project. Nintendo doesn't disappoint with anything Zelda when they are doing something new with it for the first time.
Yeah.
They knew they were onto something special with the original NES release. On Super NES, they made sure that Link to the Past was big and epic. They pioneered new technology and made it a visual tour de force in 1998 with Ocarina of Time on N64, and used the Rumble Pack officially and Z targeting. And on GameCube, they went with a compelling, brand new, visual style with Wind Waker. And going on Wii, they well, it was kind of an interesting thing because you could count Twilight Princess as that title.
Yeah.
Or Skyward Sword, but pretty much Twilight Princess. And with that being pretty much as GameCube could handle in terms of visual power. And in Wii U, it's thanks to Wii U that we got Breath of the Wild, although that one sort of is a dual Wii U and, Nintendo Switch kind of release.
Yeah.
Each E3, when Nintendo has had something Zelda, they go all out. That's a very highly coveted title that they have. In 2013,
yeah,
I believe they had a beautiful King of Red Lions boat that I got to stand on and interview Conan O'Brien, who was also there doing his like video game kind of fun stuff, and ask him, what do you think of Nintendo's booth? What do you think of the Wind Waker? And it's kind of known that he's not a big gamer personally, but he likes gaming and he has his own kind of fun gaming segments and stuff like that. But that's just a fun little aside because I remember it from that show. But this beautiful life-size King of Red Lions ship that you got to be on and dress up as Link and be a part of it, and it looks stunning. In 2016, converting the entire Nintendo booth into Hyrule and having these giant walls and making it look like a castle and a field and these bokoblins and moblins over here and there and this pot that bubbled and animated, all just for a booth for 3 days that was going to be torn down later on, probably tossed out, probably not in a Nintendo museum in Japan, probably not at a warehouse, somewhere in Washington. In 2004, the E3 booth of Nintendo's for The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess back on GameCube, a whole dungeon that you got to walk through, and the Stalfos Knight banging against the side. Everything looks so detailed. Everything looks just exactly like you would want it going from video game to live action. The fish on the ground, the moss on the walls. Nintendo are the kings and queens of
detail,
accuracy, detail. Absolutely. Seeing the Wolf Link, and that was just all animatronics, and that was also older technology and a smaller budget. You're getting Nintendo. And one of the reasons why I have this much faith is not just because it's Zelda related, which they hold dearly, but because Mr. Miyamoto is involved in it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like as good of a Mario experience we got in the Mario movie for Mario. I think we're going to get that with, Zelda in a live action Zelda movie. Things are going to look legit. They're going to get the acting down right. Nintendo has such a high pedigree of fans out there that all of the fans that have grown up for the last, 35-ish years being big, hardcore Nintendo fans have now grown up to be lawyers and doctors and dentists and, pharmacists and professors.
Insurance agents.
And insurance agents and stuff like that. All of us, but have also grown up to be directors and musicians and writers and music composers and folks that hold boomstick mics and folks that act and that write and narrate and make costume designs and props and all that stuff. So when you have a high pedigree franchise like Zelda that is beloved so much, and then you have the fans that matter, no offense to folks like us that aren't creating movies, but the folks that matter in the terms of making movies, they're going to bring their A game too, I think. I mean, if I was involved in this project and they said, Paul, we need your help to be a stunt coordinator to make the action fight scenes be as accurate and safe, but as exciting as possible to come up with something that Hollywood hasn't seen in a fight scene before, I wouldn't just bring my A game that I normally bring to fighting and choreography and all that stuff and kinesiology. I would bring my A+ freaking game because I love Zelda so much. That's my passion going to go into it. And I know that there's other people that are passionate like me out there, but have those jobs. So I think we're going to get something awesome. Like, I have no doubt that it's going to be sweet. Could it not satisfy someone because I can't believe you didn't have Gorons? It's possible. But Zelda's so big that this isn't going to be a one and done film. They're probably going to have 2, 3, 4 movies in it. So there's going to be time to have different colored tunics and stuff like that. But a lot of the core things that we love about the Zelda franchise so much, having some humor, some puzzles, Sorry. Well, maybe
throw some poems.
Yeah.
Music,
Romantic
imagery, the things that you see all the time. The Master Sword, Link in his tunic. You know, I've seen awesome cosplay of different Links and Zeldas that are so awesome, that are just fans that have a passion to embroider and sew and morph plastic in their homes. And you think that's cool? Like, dude, wait until you see Link freaking running around with the chainmetal and the flopping beanie, and like, it's gonna be awesome. And when he takes the sword out of the stone, or however he gets it, it's gonna look amazing. And the beams and the magic and the Din's fire, like, I cannot freaking wait. Will they get the actors down and their faces to how we all saw them? Maybe, but someone might be like, I would have chosen a different actor. But at the end of the day, Link's visual style has changed. Yeah. He's gone from having pink hair as a graphical kind of glitch or a limitation here. He's gone from wearing short kind of things to chainmetal. He went from being fairly realistic on N64 for what that system could handle to being completely animated with big black silly looking eyes.
And a lot of facial expression.
We all love Link for different things. This is just going to be one more Link. If they chose Zendaya as Princess Zelda and someone said, I don't know because she has a little bit darker skin tone. Zelda's changed. She's had yellow hair. She's had blonde hair. She's had brown hair. She's been a kid. She's been a pirate. She's been an adult. She's been an animated character. She's been a ghost. Like, that's a lot of freaking different Zelda interpretations. So
she's had short hair.
Zelda is, African-American woman or someone of a different ethnicity. Like, who cares? It's going to be awesome. Nintendo's not going to let this fumble. I have some ideas that, like, I think, Henry Cavill would be a great Ganondorf.
Oh, yes.
Some people might not feel that, and they might think, it's got to be someone else or of a different ethnicity to represent this kind of group coming from the desert. But, like, you know what? All of it's made up anyways, and Nintendo and Wes Ball and all these folks could just craft and weave this beautiful thing that's just a different Zelda game. No two Zelda games are identical, and this is going to be, it's another game. It's going to be another visual style. It's going to be a different Link. We get different Links every time. That's the beauty of Zelda. It's a reincarnated version. It's not the same character, so they can look a little bit different. Could it be too polarizing of a change? Yes, but I don't think they're going to do anything too drastic. For the first one, I think it's going to be somewhat on the safe side, getting the casting kind of the way they want it, getting the stories comparable to past games, but probably its own thing, just borrowing certain elements.
I go with its own thing.
Yeah.
And then I think later on they might get a little bit more wacky with like sequel or a third movie, and like, wow, that's never happened in a game. But that's what Zelda games are. You've never ridden on a dragon and had to take a Master Sword out of a dragon before. You've done it in a stone, you've done it in a forest, you've done it in a time with stones and marble.
We've done it in a temple.
Exactly. Yeah.
Come on. So
I agree.
I'm hyped. I'm stoked from going to E3s, seeing how they handle Super Nintendo World, seeing how Mario movie was done, seeing just how they treat Zelda. Looking at this guy's passion, Wes Ball's passion, that he's a Zelda fan.
Yeah.
And that just goes back to my thing of like all these fans, not to say that everybody in the movie is a fan of Zelda for the first one. Some of them are just their jobs, right?
Yeah.
But probably a good amount of them just by being fans of life and living in the world for the last 30-ish years, probably you like Zelda at some point.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Like Ninja Turtles. If you're in that age range of 30 to 50, probably you like Turtles in some capacity because it's been so popular for the last 35 years, 40 years that you're probably at least a little fan. And if you had the opportunity as an adult to work on Turtles, that's going to bring a little bit of excitement from you. So you're going to handle that kind of well. I'm freaking on board. I can't wait. This is like my most anticipated thing movie.
We're going to pause for the premiere, y'all.
Yeah, let's go.
Paul is across the street from the actual theater. He'll just walk there in his
Yeah, we all got to make sure we have our Sunday best on. No, we better than our Sunday best, our Oscar best on. And we're going to just pop up at your house, Paul, and tell you to drive us there.
Unannounced, please.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie. I get excited for every little details on a video game adaptation. And I'm just going to go crazy with Zelda. Like, I cannot picture myself actually watching. I can't even believe that this is happening. I have
it's
to
happening.
Be honest with you. No, but I mean
the right timeline, y'all.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I just hope that people are not that harsh on it, because I do agree that it's gonna be its own thing. I do agree that we're gonna see like different Link, different Zelda that we are kind of used to. I do agree that we're gonna see some Easter eggs, because the Super Mario movie was filled with Easter eggs, by the way.
Yeah.
So, but I also want to make sure that everybody's going with their mind like open-minded about this is not going to be Zelda lore, and not even the games. Like, they are connected in a way, but they are their own entity most of the time.
They're legends.
They're exactly. They always go and tell you about the legend that happened, and whatever, but they're always their own thing. And I just feel that I hope they're a little bit more, that we are a little bit more open-minded, but I'm still nervous, but I'm just going to relax and be open.
You have the right because look at what happened with the Mario movie before it came out. They just announced the cast. The internet went crazy. The internet went crazy. They trashed everything. There's a lot of mad people. Then the movie ended up being the first or second best animated movie of all time. And so people at the beginning, you can expect the internet to be the internet. You can expect Twitter to be Twitter. You know what I mean? I think I trust, like Zach was saying in the chat. In Miyamoto we trust.
In Miyamoto we trust.
It's true. It's true. I think it's gonna be awesome. This right here, all this, the entire production team already assembled. Okay, within the IMDb page, just tells me, because this is my personal opinion, that already, we are into pre-production already. Pre-production. All right. I believe that right now they are scouting for locations. I think right now they are storyboarding like crazy. And also they are about to work on the cast, or they are already thinking about the casting for this movie. And I think that we will see it pretty soon too. And that's going to be exciting. The process, that the journey that we're going to go on before the movie comes out, right? Because when they announced Link for the very first time,
I'm going to cry.
Yeah. I'm gonna cry too. I was about to say that, Joyce.
Hopefully we could watch it at like a big Zelda movie direct, and I can like.
We are going to get something like that. I'm 100% sure.
I really hope they do that. I really hope that they make a direct just for the announcements. That would be just so perfect. That way we can gather and then react together and kind of just
Hey, we have been saying that Nintendo has a huge gap. I mean, the huge gap could be for the Legend of Zelda announcements.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, I
however,
go ahead.
Wait, let me say this real quick. I kind of don't want them to tell us until they've recorded some, I don't know if that's right, filmed some scenes, and really they're like, no, this is happening, we're happy with this. Because sometimes with some movies, again, Back to the Future, they'll sometimes start out with one actor for a pivotal role, and then they'll film a few scenes and they're like, this ain't it, and they'll find somebody else, because Michael J. Fox was not originally supposed to be Marty McFly.
For sure.
So that could work. So I kind of want them to tell us once they fully have solidified this is happening. And then also, I hope they keep all the actors off social media, because no matter what we say, no matter how much I tell everybody, don't worry, especially with Miyamoto there, he's watching over everything. It's going to be fine. It's going to be great. They're going to, social media is, when it's bad, it's bad. When it's good, right? Yeah. So I'm afraid that they're just going to rip whoever it is apart. In fact, it would be really hilarious if they didn't even tell us anything at all, except we're working on it. It's updating. Here's a shot of the castle, and that's it. But then right before, they announce the cast, and then they just drop the trailer. And real quick, if anybody from Nintendo is watching, please hear me. And I say this with love. Whoever did the Breath of the Wild trailer, whoever chopped and screwed that and put that together, with the music, have them do the movie trailer, because nothing to this day, Breath of the Wild's trailer gets me hyped for anything Zelda. I don't even have to be playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree. I don't know, but I want the spectacle. I want to see the people announce and stuff like that. But guys, one thing I wanted to also note is that there's a big debate out there, right? There's a huge debate whether unknown actors versus known actors. Or that's like one of the big of the movie. And I'm like Joycey. I don't really care who they cast as long as it's a good actor, can act and really bring that character to life. It's a big responsibility, right? On the other hand, they do want to present this story, this new story, by the way, for us is not new. But for a lot of people out there who still call Link
yep, that's true.
Is new, you know, is brand new. And so those people, I'm not saying this person is gonna be casted. I'm just gonna pretend they casted certain people. All right, those people who may not be Nintendo fans, they may not be Zelda fans. Oh, yeah, but they're Tom Holland fans. Those people are gonna go see a Tom Holland.
That's what it is. That's the truth.
Yeah, they're not gonna go see a Zelda fan movie. They're gonna think, they're gonna go see the next Tom Holland movie because they love what he's done before. Or they're gonna go see a Timothy Chalamet. You know, they're gonna go see one of his movies because he's hot right now when it comes to his star power, because he's rising with all his movies. They're gonna go see this. And so if Nintendo does decide to go like they did with Mario with the star-studded cast, you know, it look at it in a way that it's benefiting for the franchise itself. It expands the franchise. It brings all these fans from all these actors that are going to see the next Jack Black movie, the next The Rock movie, the next whoever they cast as whatever movie, and bring all of those millions of fans with them to sit down and watch that movie, which benefits all us all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what you need?
Yeah.
We need you to be there also monitoring, Paul. That's what we need. You got to infiltrate.
Yeah.
I said I picked this person to be in the next Mario movie, but now I have a role for her in Zelda.
Yeah.
You cast Taylor Swift as Malon, and you have her sing Epona's song to Link, and you get all of the millions of Swifties to watch it because Taylor Swift is Malon in this movie.
That's genius.
And that would be incredible.
If that's the case, Beyonce for Gerudo Tribe.
Yeah.
Don't tell me she don't fit the aesthetic, because she does.
Yeah.
You only have to give her. You only have to give her one line.
But you give her lyrics, and you just make a song out of that song.
Yeah.
Damn. Because you already know, I cast Taylor Swift as Daisy in the Super Mario Bros. Movie sequel for Taylor Swift to sing with Bowser and stuff like that with Jack Black, and that's going to be a new mega song.
Dude. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Just for the record, guys, I know that we're from a business sense that makes sense, but I don't think we seriously want that, because the truth is people will take it as a negative, and that it's a money grab. And because we wouldn't, and I don't think anybody would for real hire Taylor or Beyonce for the more pivotal roles that we actually have to have, which is Link, Zelda, and whoever the big baddie is, which I'm assuming is going to be Ganon.
Yeah. I mean, they're like really, really small roles in the corner who have like some kind of singing something or musical something.
Is it too small that they wouldn't join it because it is too small, though?
Yeah.
You know,
but,
that's possible.
But that's the thing. Like, if you think about it, everybody was going crazy about Chris Pratt and everything. You know, he was kind of trending, and because he has been pretty much everywhere lately. But he did an awesome job. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't feel very concerned about whoever they're going to be casting. If they're going to be casting a well-known actor, is because that actor is going to be able to portray that character without any issues. Yeah. So I mean, I wasn't disappointed with Chris Pratt at all, to be honest, as Mario.
Me either.
So,
he did great.
Yeah, and
it made sense.
Yeah.
It made sense. He was a plumber from Brooklyn. he sounded like a plumber from Brooklyn, and I loved how they explained that it's a me Mario. This his accent. He uses the voice for the commercial that they were making in the Mario movie, and that's how he kind of explained the transition from that was just me pretending to be over the top,
Yeah.
But I agree. I do agree.
I wonder what the actual somebody brought this up in the chat. Lady Zelda was commenting on our Taylor Swift and Beyonce jokes, and she's like, yeah, no pop music. That does make me wonder, and I agree with I do agree with that. But it makes me wonder what the soundtrack is going to be. Not the score. The score is all the orchestral orchestral music in the background. Mm-hmm. What are the actual songs, that are going to hit? That's what I'm wondering. And I'm wondering who they're going to pick and what songs are they going to pick. Pop music will not work in Zelda. We can totally get away with it in Mario Brothers Zelda's a whole other vibe.
You know how I can see pop singers join the cast, like if they give him like a very small role in the movie, and then have him be part of the soundtrack of the actual movie.
That goes along with Paul was saying. Malon is extremely important, but it's technically it would be considered a small role, very small role.
Yeah, it's a small role.
If you look at Moana, right? Moana has she sings the song herself. The actual actress who does the voice, Moana for the soundtrack. I think you have another actress sing it, and then she does all the little run-in, and it doesn't sound the same, but it's like a little poppers version of the song.
Adaptation or what?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have heard of her, but I would love to hear an Aurora song.
Her could do it. That's the artist's actual name. Her, Her. Yeah, that's her. And she plays like 5 different instruments.
Oh, really?
She sings. She's amazing.
And her or Aurora as well. I think that's
Aurora.
If it's who I'm thinking of, I think I'm getting her confused with somebody.
I don't know anybody.
Aurora is you could probably. There's a bunch of songs out there, but she was in Frozen 2 as well. Into the Unknown, that kind of core that you can hear her like she's the one that I would love to hear for a Zelda movie.
Okay, yeah, she has experience working in movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
We shall see. The other thing, Mike, and you probably can tell us about that because you're more into the theme parks and stuff like that as well. Like this will definitely open up opportunities for us to have an actual Legend of Zelda world at Nintendo World. Right?
Yeah. Right now they shut down the Lost Continent where the Zelda theme park is going to be built, and then this is unrelated, but they've already have a dated to shut down the Simpsons ride where the Pokemon ride is going to be built as well. So it's like they're moving fast with Nintendo's IPs. In Universal, and I think that Universal is gonna grow so big, it's gonna be Disney. But with first opening up here, that Super Nintendo World, Donkey Kong World, them adding the Legend of Zelda, the rumored this is not even mentioning the rumored Luigi's Mansion, coming.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, if we go into really, really, really deep, that we will be here all night. But because we can't be here all night, I mean. The last thing I want to break in is that they are actually working on they closed down that area there. It is planned to be the Legend of Zelda theme world. They were gonna do a ride based on Wind Waker. They were gonna do an area Breath of the Wild and then Twilight Princess. Those were the 3 games that they were gonna focus on for rides and stuff like that. And that's what we know so far. But hey, who knows what. The movie can come out and coincide with the release of the land, right? And so you guys might go be meet Link for the in live forum, take a picture with Link and Zelda for the very first time in history. Not a cosplayer, but the actual Link and Zelda, and actually be able to see the castle and everything. It's gonna be so awesome.
Real quick, Zach said this in the chat. Think of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal, but the Zelda version.
I'm gonna die. Like After I visit the park, though.
Lily and I are just gonna sit at the park and just cry.
Wait, hold on. Where's that comment? I need to highlight it.
There
you go.
There you go, right there.
That would be oh my gosh. Okay, everybody, let me give y'all some auntie advice, some motherly auntie advice, whatever. Save your money now. Just start putting money away so we can all go visit Universal, because I'm buying everything. I'm gonna bring a separate suitcase that's just empty.
Yeah, empty. Yeah.
I'm buying everything. Yeah. I'm buying everything. I'm going to try to eat everything. I will be out at Universal for just a week, just so I can experience it.
Listen, I'm serious about this. I want to do a podcast live from either Super Nintendo World or from the theme park or the Hyrule or whatever. We need to have a
Mike, that was my suggestion. I've been said that. Of course we need to do that.
Podcast.
Why the heck did I call you Michael? I'm sorry. You're not in trouble.
Yeah, right? I'm like, what do you do?
You only use the full name when somebody's in trouble.
Yeah. But yeah, Josie, you did bring it up a while back about that.
Yes, we totally have to do that. And we'll just, in other words, we'll just go to Paul's house.
Yep. It's settled. Yeah. Everybody's going. There we go.
We're all going to Paul's house.
Yeah.
So,
How about we make a date to be at the premiere for Legend of Zelda in Hollywood?
I'm down.
Can you imagine that?
Right now, by the time it comes out, I think the channel will be bigger. I think the podcast will be bigger, so we can go as media and be there. Just gonna walk the the carpet.
Yes.
You know, it's possible.
Yes.
It's possible. So I'm gonna say it right now. We're gonna be at the red carpet premiere, and we're gonna make it happen. All right. Even if we
visualizing.
I'll rent a bus, and then I'll just kind of road trip all along the United States and pick up Joycey, and then pick up Lily, and then pick up Zach along the way, and then we'll meet at Paul Gill's house. Swim in his
Paul has the pool.
Yeah, we'll swim in his pool for a little bit and have a pool party.
And Paul barbecues. So I mean,
yeah.
I love how we just invite ourselves to Paul's
great
house
every
week.
cheeseburgers this summer.
He hasn't said anything. Probably we're not invited.
I think
it would be a good time.
What Paul's gonna do is he's gonna meet us at the airport, like blindfold us, and then drive us.
That would be I'm so down. That would be so much fun. I will be working hard and saving money because I am seriously going to go anyway. And if this channel does grow enough, and some of the Mike Odyssey members and family seriously want to go, maybe we can arrange some kind of meetup or something. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yep, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Faith, we're gonna have it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be there on that red carpet, and I'm gonna wear my best shoes. I'll be wearing a green suit with the yellow tie.
Oh gosh! Lily, we have to find like green dresses.
Hopefully
but first we have to see the trailer, see if that's even the schematic of the. We know there's going to be green, but
look like a banana.
Or maybe I can go in Breath of the Wild blue, and you guys and Lily goes in green.
I'm actually considering going in cosplay. I don't know what about you, but I have my costumes.
Oh, hello.
That's an idea. Since it's a red carpet, I think that I almost kind of feel like we should be like part Met Gala, part
Hey, Princess Zelda's Breath of the Wild dress gown. It's very gala to me.
It is very gala. It probably needs like some wings or something weird on it to really make it fit. But yeah, we'll plan our outfit.
We shall see.
I'll be Tingle. No,
because then we're gonna say we don't.
We're gonna say like we don't know you, like.
Yeah, we don't know that guy.
All right, my friends. It's been a fun podcast. We've been talking. There's more to talk about if we kind of go over everything just to on the Legend of Zelda. The fact that we saw the entire full IMDb page, but the cast,
except the
cast,
it's coming.
The full and the IMDb page is ready. The only thing is missing is the cast and the actual the artwork, right? The artwork.
Yeah.
The first poster is going to be
a poster.
Awesome.
Real quick, I'm pretty sure is Clifford Favors. I think that's one of in your chat, Lily.
Yes.
Shout out to him because he just said, "I hope they cast me as the thief in the desert." Why did you take my sign? If you played A Link to the Past, that should be really hilarious to you.
Way to go, Chris. Well, that's his name, Clifford. But he goes,
Clifford.
His name is Chris, but yeah, he goes by Clifford.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, because me and Paul have been saying for a while that we have to go, but we just love Zelda gaming conversation overall.
Yeah. I've been looking for like a little thing so we can go ahead and then so you guys can go. But that is gonna do it for the podcast, guys. We had fun talking about Nintendo Switch 2, like mania that's going on, and of course, the Zelda movie. That I think we are going to hear more about this movie officially before the year ends, and we're gonna be so excited. I'm guessing I'm gonna say that we're gonna hear when the movie's gonna come out this year, when it's coming out, like the release date this year. Even if they say 2027 or 2026, we're gonna hear about it this year. Hopefully, Nintendo does those little directs and kind of gives us the premiere and everything, their plans, and just kind of gets us excited and stuff. But it's gonna happen. I'm excited. The cast is excited. I want to thank everyone here: Paul, Lily, Joycey, Zach in the chat, and of course the entire chat for being here. Before we go, I want to go ahead and throw it over to Paul Gale so he can let us know what do you have this week going on and where can we find you?
This week going on. Since it's Mother's Day coming up, my wife loves cows and my daughter loves llamas, and we go to this place once in a while that's like a friendly farm kind of thing. It's called the Gentle Barn, and you get to pet llamas and cows, and they've got chickens, pigs, and horses, and you could feed and pet them and stuff like that. So I think that's not really gaming related, but that's what I'm going to do this weekend with the family, kind of like a pre-Mother's Day sort of fun thing.
Yeah.
And on Twitter /X, I am at Paul Gale Network, and on YouTube also at Paul Gale Network.
Yeah. Take a lot of pictures and share them on Twitter and on your social media so we can go and follow and celebrate with you. That's awesome, Paul.
And play a Pona song next to a cow and see if anything happens.
That's true.
That's awesome.
Just see if anything happens. If they start mooing, and get some Lon Ranch milk.
And Joycey, Zelda Mama, where can we find you? And what do you have going on this week?
I don't actually have anything going on, just more rest. Listen to your doctors, people, when they, when you have surgery and they tell you to do certain things, do not overdo it, almost re-hospitalize yourself. I got a funny story for y'all in a few weeks. But no, so not going to be doing much gaming because, like I said, I'm just kind of really in my relaxation mode. Reading is where I kind of stay. But I'm so excited to get back to my normal schedule. I probably will be on Splatoon a little bit. I am at DJ Joycey on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. If you have any Zelda questions, I'm always happy to talk to you. I'm just a crazy old lady who loves games.
That is awesome. And of course, you can find here every Friday here at the Nintopics Podcast. Moving forward, we're super glad to have Joycey back.
Yay!
Thank you.
Lilly Hyrule, what do you have going on this weekend? Where can we find you?
Well, you can find me everywhere as Lilly Hyrule. But on YouTube, I am still working a little bit into getting things the way I wanted, getting back on track with a couple of things. But I can announce that because we're getting closer and closer to the anniversary for Tears of the Kingdom, I have something in plan. And the plan is going to be to live stream the game again. But I'm going to delete my entire file. I want to do that as a challenge. I'm going to delete my entire file where I have collected 152 shrines. Yes, and I'm going to do it as a challenge. So whoever wants to see that happening, it's going to happen next month. I'll
just create a new profile.
No. No, I wanna do another run on Tears of the Kingdom. I really want to be there as it's happened last year, and it's something that I want to experience and challenge myself for. So yeah, if you want to be part of that, just go to my channel. You will see it soon in my channel. It's gonna be a live series, of course. It's not gonna be done in one sitting. It's not gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, everything, you should be able to find it there. I'm also uploading a bunch of reels on Instagram, especially because of a lot of Zelda merchandise that I've been getting. So if you're interested on knowing exactly what kind of merchandise you can buy,
cool.
I am uploading all of that on my socials, and that's pretty much it. But I'm gonna stay during the weekend home. I don't plan to go out, to be honest with you. Next week, though, something Star Wars related.
Nice.
Yeah. I think there are the 25th anniversary for Phantom Menace. They're gonna be available in the theater again, so it's just gonna be interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, you can find me on everywhere as Lilly Hyrule.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for that, Lily. Just a quick shout out to Zach, our other co-host in the chat. You can find him at Young Cav Zach as well here. I'm not sure if his streaming setup is up, but he normally streams a game after the podcast today. Not sure if it's working, but you can follow him, Zach, at Twitter or Twix at Young Cav Zach as well. So thank you, Zach, for joining us in the chat and being part of the cast today. And of course, here at the Odyssey, you can find me here every day because this is where I live. I have my pillow right back there, and my sheet. It's a Mario pillow and stuff.
And he has a Yoshi doll he sleeps with.
I sleep there when I'm in trouble. This couch, right? And I play games on that TV right there. Yoshi.
It's the purple one.
And
I recently got this one.
You can find me here every single Friday. I do one topic videos, trending videos for now. But guess what? Good news. I'm just about ready to start the Mike Odyssey show. I was just waiting on something to come in the mail. Something came in the mail today, which is huge for me because it's my dream lens. It's a lens that costs a lot of money, but I was able to get it for a lot cheaper because I bought it overseas, which is pretty good. And they came in today, and it's real. It's not, they didn't spoof me. I'm happy, you know. And a lot some stuff that's coming in. So the Mike Odyssey show is coming Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays here on the channel. Every other day, we're doing regular content. But if you guys were here yesterday, I did some testing for a live stream that I'm starting, and I'm playing Wind Waker on the Wii.
Yes,
the original Wind Waker. Look, I got my Wii U pad right here. I wish I could actually play on it because I can't see the screen; it's too small. But I got my big screen right in front of me here, and I happen to mod my Wii U so that I can play with this controller right here, that one.
Oh,
and so
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I only modded it just so that I can install that Bluetooth app that allows you to play with any controller. That way, I can just pair. I have a whole bunch of controllers, but I don't have a Wii U Pro controller. I can pair any controller that I have in the room. And so yeah, Wind Waker starting next week on Tuesday. Starting Tuesday, I'm gonna start streaming on the Wind Waker. So if you want to be here, watch me play, watch me make a fool of myself for the first time on Wind Waker, you guys are welcome. I'm gonna have my personal guide, Joycey J, in the chat. And then whenever she wants to join the stream, she can as well. So she can guide me and we can chat while we play.
I just have to remember how to play Wind Waker. I should go find. Now I got to go find my Wii U.
And
yes,
everybody on the podcast here is invited. If you guys want to just pop in you guys can pop in. I'll send you a link. You can just pop in and we'll have a conversation while we play the Wind Waker on live stream. So with that, I want to thank you guys all for being here. You guys have been more than amazing. I love you all more than you know. Thank you for 48,000 subscribers. We hit that today.
Nice.
And we're on the way to 50K, and then by the end of the year, we're gonna hit that 100K. I'm pretty sure. And of course, every other content creator here is also we're going along for the ride. So thank you guys so much for watching. Before we let you go, we got two things we gotta let you know. Before we go, number one, Joycey,
never give up. Don't do that. We need you.
Don't give up. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you give up, how are you going to know?
You don't.
You know. You're never going to know. And two, Lily.
Journey on.
Yay!
Yay!
Listen, you have to never give up because the journey continues. Every day is a brand new day to reach for your dreams and to never, ever give up on what's most important to you. Love your family. Kiss your loved one good night. Never go to bed upset. Make sure you make up before you do. Even if you're the first to say I'm sorry, say it, and then just go to sleep. Peace and love, and and then
and understanding.
understanding and stuff like that, and stuff. And how about Dr. Pepper? All right. Let me turn off this music because this is not the wavy dance music. I think this is it.
Nintopic Podcast.
All right.
All things Nintendo.
That has been the podcast here tonight with Lilly, Joycey J, and Paul Gill Network. Justin.
Hi, thank you.
Good night, guys.
We got it like first time. Should we do it again? No.
Never have too many.
Turn the show off, Mike.
Bye.
Good night.
Take care. Bye.
Nintopic Podcast. All things Nintendo.